Yellow. Final Fantasy. It's not really been that long, but I've done some stuff. I have gotten the last couple of classes that I had left, which were Paladin and Dark Knight, up to level 90. So I now have everything level 90 or above. Yes. We can also rank up with every allied society in Endwalker. And I got the PvP minion for the current series. I have also changed some of the icons in my quick select, because it kind of just made sense that the only thing I hadn't done the macro treatment for was my melee DPS for both, my physical DPS, both melee and ranged. So that's finally done, and I've changed these tokens around so it's just snazzier. So yeah, some stuff's happened. I've also done Island Sanctuary stuff. I'm now rank 10 on that, so we can go and have a look at that in a little bit. And honestly, that's about it. I haven't done like any relic progress or any. Oh wait, no, that's not quite it. I have done something else as well. I got the last of the Guibas from Shadowbringers, so we can get the Shadowbringers capstone mount now. Just in time to potentially get started on the Endwalker one. What do I want to do this as? Probably not this. Let's do Pitco. Nice to see you after. If you've a moment, I'll tell you the latest. Thanks to our cool and breezy stables, our hippos have been getting all sorts of luxurious shut-eye, and the little pots can't be tempted away from their splashing. All in all, our growing family's bursting with energy. Good thing too, seeing as our services are in ever higher demand. Folk have even started coming around and petitioning for employment, if you can believe it. We've always liked keeping our business to ourselves, so the thought of welcoming in strangers felt dreadful queer at first. But helping others is what riders do, so we got some new faces on the team. Besides, as swamped in requests as we are, we'd be lost without the extra help. Help! Help, I say! Oh. Hello. I appreciate the enthusiastic chorus, Ogle, but what have you gone and done to your head? Oh yeah, and I've changed my hair. This is one of the hairstyles that you get from Island Sanctuary. Ogle, you look fantastic. This is hardly the time for jesting. We're in crisis, I tell you, crisis! There are Gajasura in the jungle. Ever since you mentioned that thieving Matanga, I've had this terrible suspicion. Had to know for certain, so I cleverly camouflaged myself with this Gaja disguise and set out to investigate. That's a disguise? And ain't you sweating an awful lot? I would choose a pool of sweat over a pool of blood any day. Between the Aura and Gajasura, there can be naught but violence and requital. There is no doubt as to what I witnessed. A Gajasura in the flesh. The image of it shall haunt my dreams. Those red eyes, that devilish armor, that cart drawn by a frothing hippo. What? A hippo cart? He declared his name with a ghastly voice. Akala. I became an edifice of fear. He asked if I was his Matanga brethren. In that moment, all I could envision was my own death and dismemberment by that beastly creature. Before I knew what had happened, I heard my own voice cry out. Not I am but a passing Minutia. Minutia do have bodies of men and heads of beasts, so if you squint really hard... Never mind, ain't no way anyone would buy that. Actually, he was terribly polite about it, pressed his hands together and bowed deeply before leaving me be. You're saying you let him go? I no doubt he's the bandit we're looking for. You're a fighter, ain't you? I'm sorry. Well, I've come to cherish the Arcasadora as my friends and allies. Gajasura are another matter entirely. When I came to my senses, I searched the area and found one of your associates injured and missing his cart. No doubt the same cart now in Akala's possession. Luckily, your man's injuries seemed manageable, so I saw him to Palaka's stand, where Yazan is treating him now. Is that so? Then I owe you my thanks. Sorry for losing my temper like that. Everyone's entitled to their weaknesses. Anyhow, even if he did give us leg bail, can't have gotten far. I say we track him down while the trail's hot and take back what's ours. Then let us reconvene at the Shroud of the Samga. I shall take you to the very place I encountered him. I have just realised I forgot to feed Nyx. So, before there is a cat violently yodeling next to me, let me go and deal with that real quick. Be right back. Okay. Cat bed. Important things are done. Where am I going? I could have teleported to Palaka's stand. Oh well. Yeah. This is where I saw him. From here he rode off on that stolen hippo cart. Can't for the life of me remember which direction he went. I was so paralysed by fear that north could have been south and east-west. To let a phobia get the better of me like this. I really call myself an adventurer? There ain't much use crying over spilt chai. You're caught by surprise and end of story. We should stay grounded and focus on what we know. Grounded, of course, that's it! Grandmother would often say the trail to prey begins at a hunter's feet. And look here, on the ground, beneath our feet, wheel tracks, departing in a southwesterly direction. You could... I could imagine you tracking the hippo, not the cart. The wheels would just look like a straight line. There's no way of telling directionality. Whereas the hippo, you can go by the way its toes are pointed. I say we divide our efforts to preclude any Gajasura trickery. I shall accompany Turner as her guest, while after you survey the area for hidden villainy. I'm counting on you. A suspicious disturbance? Hello. You're tiny, apparently. You're also naked. I think that's the main thing I take away from this. The Arcasadara tend to wear clothes. Sweeping your gaze across the area, you see no trace of Gajasura, hidden, villainous, or otherwise. You listen closely to the sounds around you. The faint rustling of wind through leaves, the snuffling of wild beasts. No hippocarts. Speaking of snuffling beasts, hello, Nix. Do it. Damn it. I got a cat bed for her today. And she sniffed at it. I've put catnip in it. And she's gone in and eaten the catnip. But she refuses to... Oh. Hello. She refuses to, like, actually sit in it. My Matanga tolerance won't be defeated by the likes of you. Why no fire? Thavnair full of fire, Akala here. Good for conquest. I ain't got the foggiest idea what delusions you're riding in on, but I'll tell you one thing. You're picking a fight with the wrong island. You best get back what you took and skip along home. No, not leave till conquest Thavnair. Small Gajasura, shame to tribe. No place for Akala and battle brothers. Travel far to prove strength. Protect brothers. Conquest Thavnair, home for brothers. We won't stand by and let you conquer Thavnair. You, silence! Akala no fight today. Battle brothers must eat medicine. I see your reasoning, but you ain't got no right to involve my hippo. Let him go. Now. Your food, good taste. Wagon, good ride. Good for battle brothers. Soon your home conquest for Akala. Remember. Hey, get back here, you... Ugh, what kind of person compliments your cooking before riding off with hostages? Sorry, it sounds like Nix is tap dancing upstairs. Bear with me a moment. It legitimately sounds like tap dancing. He's gone. If hippocarts weren't so fast, we could have given chase. He said something about being small, but he didn't seem much different than us Arcosudara. Are other Gajasura seriously massive or something? Oh, about twice as big as your average Arcosudara. It is even said that their leader, the Grand Regent, is indeed so grand that to gaze upon her full stature is to break your neck looking upwards. In comparison, Akala seems quite modestly sized. Were his compatriots similar? I see, only slightly bigger then. Still, they must be considered quite small by their other brethren. He said they had no place to go. Can't say I don't know how that feels. He didn't seem very open to negotiations. I know. But keeping his brothers safe came before anything, didn't it? Hard to damn him for that. Getting pushed out of society for being who you are can really work your woe. Makes you wonder if you were ever worth anything to begin with. No wonder he's itching to prove himself. On the Azim's step, the very notion that Gajasura could be capable of such nuanced emotion is, pardon me for saying so, preposterous. However, judging a book by its cover does nothing but feed fear and misunderstanding. It's something I certainly learned thanks to my experiences in Thavnair. You gotta judge others by their actions, of course. So far, Akala's mostly injured my associate, stolen my property, and kidnapped my hippo, but still. Now, let us brace ourselves with some adventuring fundamentals. Review of the information at hand. The bandit responsible for the assault of a hippo rider, theft of personal property, and kidnapping of an innocent hippo is a Gajasura called Akala. According to him, he and his compatriots are here to conquer Thavnair, so as to prove themselves to their fellows and secure a home of their own. Akala also seems to have taken a fancy to our carts, which means he's got good taste, but it also means that Svanna's high on his list to conquer. If I rallied my people and had you two there to back us up, we could probably put down Akala and his crew, full stop. But I'd rather it not come to blows. I'm not going soft on nothing, but causing a hurly-burly doesn't exactly right any wrongs. I want to talk with the others and see if we can't figure out a way to do this civilly. Settling matters peacefully should also put you on the right side of the Radiant Host. I shall be sure to relay your plight to them in a most sympathetic fashion. Now, I shall away to Palika's stand to check in on your ailing associate. Once he feels well enough to travel, I'll send him along. After, I'd like your input on our strategy. I'll head back to Svanna first and round up the others. My nose is really bothering me today. And I don't know why. Because it doesn't feel like hay fever, which would make sense. And I've taken an antihistamine and it's done fuck all. Ugh. Better not be coming down with a fucking summer cold. Well, okay, maybe it's end of spring, not quite summer. Now about that bandit. Turns out he's just a little guy. He's just a baby. He's just a baby. Not only does he biff an innocent courier, he vanishes with her hippo. When I'm through turning that scamp into paste, he'll wish he were turmeric. Normally, I'd hand you the pestle with pleasure, Gasser, but things ain't so simple. After all, in another lifetime, us and Akala might have been brothers. I agree with the boss. Don't feel right pushing around someone who's been through the same thing we have. Still, knowing that bastard swindled his way into our sweet hippo's heart is bringing me to tears faster than Mara and his damned onions. Since when do our hippos trust the likes of Gajasura anyway? Well, with so many jobs taking us hither and yon, our hippos have gotten used to all sorts of different folk. Even Akala's just one in the crowd. Makes you think, if he can learn to ride a cart, anyone could. Anyone and everyone, I should say. And why not? We gather people here like you and Ogle, you know, adventurers, and when a job comes in, we send them out on their own hippo carts. Having a crew of strong arms hanging around the place gives us the advantage, just in case Akala ever decides to pay us a visit. But they don't all have to be brawlers either. Say we got some alchemists, we could send them anywhere on the island to take care of injuries. Right deed for any need, sort of a thing. Opening an adventurers guild, are we? Why not? Stop by, have a drink, hear what work's available. I think I'm onto something here, if I do say so myself. If I can get a link pearl connection with Kankana, that'd be even better. We could give each other moment-to-moment updates. Maru, we got a kitchen, so how hard could a mayonnaise be, eh? Get me a mayonnaise. A mayonnaise? You got it, boss. I'll get a mayonnaise running in the twinkling of a hippo's eye. It may be Mayhane. I don't know. It's a bar. Or a pub. Thanks to the efforts of Mara and the others, Svanna has a new Mehene. The Hippo Riders are now trustworthy couriers of some repute. Connect with contacts across Thavnair to reach exciting new heights of business. You've achieved Honoured. New Arcasadara social quests, blah 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 blah, additional quests, and more stuff being sold. What's the stuff being sold? More stuffed stuff. Okay. Now it is time for the Laporits. Bun buns. After, you recall that curious character who we've seen, for lack of a better term, lurking about Hope's Hold, don't you? Well, I hear tell that they've also spent a great deal of time lurking about the Watcher's Palace. Regular lurking way, that one. In any case, it seems the Dreaming Workshop isn't meeting their needs. I'd like to ask them how we can be more helpful. Would you join me? Perfect. I've already checked all our nooks and crannies, so with any luck, they'll be lurking by the Watcher's Palace as we speak. The fact that there's no sound effects for the accepting and completing of these quests is throwing me off. Not as much as my nose just constantly being irritated. I wonder if I've got like one of Nyx's hairs just stuck. Oh wait, I know why it sounds so fucking quiet. That's fucking better. Because we did a Delibram run where I was playing music over it. Yeah. That run isn't on... I didn't record it, so that won't be going on YouTube. But there will be... there's a re-clear run tomorrow that I'm joining, where I am going to be tanking on Golem's side for the first time. So I will be recording that, because then we'll have seen, well, not quite everything, because I've not done the duel. Perhaps they grew tired of the view and decided to take their lurking elsewhere. They're right there. Is this the dark side of the Laporit? Oh, it's them! Quickly, before they slip away. Hail, my good way. If I'm not mistaken, you've come to enjoy the offerings of our Dreaming Workshop a number of times, have you not? Enjoy? Hardly. Though I suppose watching you pointlessly exert yourselves has been entertaining enough. That's, good. I was hoping we might assist you in finding a dream of your own. And what is it you expect me to dream of? Fanciful machines? Colourful cuisines? I think not. Without the people of Aetheris to delight in them, such pursuits are meaningless, one and all. I cannot say I agree. No matter. Your exertions have their place in supporting my petition to Livingway. When she authorizes my hibernation, I shall dream sweet dreams at last. So their dream is to sleep? That's a lot of nonsense, if I do say so myself. You can hardly follow your dreams while you're asleep. Perhaps Livingway will understand better than I do. Sounds like our Ashenford friend's spoken of this matter to her before. I'm just going back, aren't I? Okay. Oh, welcome back, Tingles. That looked pretty for a second. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Sniffly After. For some reason. You basically left ever since I've been here. I have the sniffles, and you have a sore throat. Oh, I'm sorry. The thing is, like, I've been sneezing a lot all day, and it's been a problem. But it doesn't feel like hay fever. I haven't had like anything head related. Although it started now because of how much I've been blowing my nose and stuff to try and not need to sneeze. So like, I'm just now starting to feel a little bit congested. So I don't know if maybe I've got a cold starting. Because if I do, that's fucking annoying is what it is. I went into the office yesterday, and I was the only person from my team in the office. So if I gotten a cold from going into the office and not being with anyone, I'm going to be annoyed. You had a sneezy day yesterday and had a night with too much heat before, so you woke up multiple times during the night, barely covered. I haven't necessarily slept that well the last couple of days because Nyx keeps waking me up at like 4 in the morning and then not wanting to let me go back to sleep. So I think we're going to lock her out of the bedroom tonight. Why is it so difficult to find anyone today? Livingway! I have the window open as well. So yeah, it's probably a cold. That sucks. There you are, Livingway. Might I have a word? So soon? I thought your project was proceeding apace. Overall, yeah, but we're struggling with one way in particular. Are you familiar with an Ashenford Leporet? Red eyes, mysterious, absolutely adorable until they open their mouth. You had to go and remove a splinter because you had to help your dad with furniture, and old furniture guarantees splinters. But you removed it with no bloodshed. Nice. I got a splinter from Nyx's catnip earlier. Yep. Not even a lie. Oh yes, I was aware they'd paid a visit to Hopus Hold, but I wasn't aware that you were aware. Perhaps you may yet succeed where I have not. You are aware, after, that the Leporits were created to prepare the moon for man's arrival, and that these preparations required substantial time and effort. All bent toward a common goal in our own way, but some Leporits went above and beyond, one in particular. The very same. This most passionate of ways took the name Counselling Way. Their role was to lend a listening ear and provide advice to the people of Etheirys, something we anticipated would be sorely needed given the abrupt displacement we were all to face. More than any other, they sought to understand your people. They studied, they practiced, and they looked forward to the day when they would finally meet you. As you can imagine, the change of plans came as a terrible shock. They became uninterested in their former pursuits and are adamant that naught of worth remains for them to do. I was unable to persuade them otherwise, and after some time they disappeared from the burrow altogether. It was shortly thereafter that other Leporits began sighting an ashen-furred way wandering Mare Lamentorum. Oh dear. Even I didn't recognise them at first. I wondered whence this new way had sprung. Then I watched them stand out there, gazing at the sky, at Etheirys, and I realised it was the grief that had changed them. A loss too heavy to bear. Came as no surprise when they asked to be put back into hibernation. Yet I cannot allow it. Even with the final days averted, there must be a place for us in this world. I know there is. We need only reach out our paws. I said as much, but it is as if they cannot hear me. And no matter how many times I refuse them, they return with their petition for eternal sleep. It would be a tragedy to lose a Leporit with such love in their heart. We must find a way to help them, to give them a new dream. Not that I know what that would be. Thank you for telling us all of this, Living Way. We should ask the others for help. This matter is of dire import. I shall see you in Hopus Hold soon, then. A moment. If anyone can save Counselling Way, it's you. And they can be saved. I must believe that. So please, do everything in your power. On behalf of Leporit kind, I beseech you. Somehow a catnip splinter sounds worse than a normal one. Honestly, it's probably an exaggeration to call it a splinter. It got stuck in my skin, but it didn't get very deep, and it was still attached to a bigger piece of material, so I could pull it out without having to need like tweezers or whatever. But yeah, it got stuck in my skin. Could have been worse. Nyx appears to have decided that she loves just sprinting up the stairs randomly. There you are! Come! We must bring Managing Way into our confidence. So, what do we do? This Counselling Ways have visited the workshop several times, yes? Yet we have no measurable results thus far. And they're not the only Leporit who've been dissatisfied with our offerings. Though a significant portion have gravitated to the dreams on display, many remain uninterested. We must try a different tact, one that targets this demographic specifically. I see, but what could a Leporit who doesn't fancy music or mechanics or mealtime possibly enjoy? We might look to what else they have in common. People of Aetheris. Assuming my mental register is correct, and it usually is, the remaining Wayward Ways had roles that would have involved direct contact with the people of Aetheris. In addition to consulting roles, like counselling ways, there were those specialised in guiding the people around our facilities, interpreting and other aspects of hospitality. Oh, that means all of them would have been especially disappointed to find out that our guests weren't coming. They could hardly carry out their work alone. Alone? What if we didn't wait for them to take interest in a new dream all by themselves? If we bring everyone together to work toward a common goal, it may remind them what it's like to have a purpose again. Teamwork is key, to be sure, but what sort of project could we give them? Do you have any ideas? Not singing. Please, no singing. Yes, I imagine the musically disinclined wouldn't enjoy singing very much. Perhaps something that involves using their paws? Look at these boring walls we have. Surely they could use a touch of paint. Or, gasp! A mural! Expressing oneself through art is a proven means of processing negative experiences, though some may prefer a medium other than paint. Never fear, I shall arrange for a variety of supplies. At minimum, we can expect to attract Counselling Way's attention once more. Just where we want them, paying attention. For the time being, let us focus on gathering as many Wayward Ways as possible. With you here, it should be easy. Even the most listless Leporit would jump at the chance to work together with a representative of mankind. We only need to find them. Again. Zoomies? Yeah, it does appear that Nyx gets very concentrated bouts of the zoomies. And it's usually playing with a cable tie for some reason. That's the thing she decides that she wants to bat about. And just belting it up and down the stairs for no reason. You want to create something together? Is that allowed? Can't see much of a point in it. Yeah, I can hardly refuse a request from a person of Aetheris. Even now. Express my feelings through art? That sounds difficult. Though if it helps people, or even just you, I suppose we can give it a try. Painting? Don't know much about art, but if you insist, I can join you as moral support. My job was supposed to be helping people in need, after all. With how my nose is doing, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far we'll get into doing Hildebrand stuff, because it might just be a matter of I need to go the fuck to bed. Thanks to your persuasive personing, we've more participants than we know what to do with. I jest, of course. Managing Way always knows what to do. Speaking of which, they've asked you create a few palettes. Some of our painters would like to use a great many colours. As always, Managing Way's provided supplies for your convenience and ours. More can be had from the Dreaming support if you need them. I may step away to make sure that no one else attempts to paint the wall with Cooking Way's frosting, but trust that you will find me here when you're done. She's in pounce position, in the doorway, facing out. Are you seeing demons? I mean, you are a black cat. It could be ghosts. Just in time to prevent further frosting-based incident. I'll take those off your paws. I shall see these distributed to our artists post-haste. I can hardly wait to see the finished product. Jesus. Why the crying? Ooh. Okay, I like that. I'd hoped they would enjoy themselves, but I never imagined they'd become so absorbed in their work, nor create such a magnificent mural. This is by far our greatest success yet. Art? Truly, you're making my task too easy. Counseling Way! Do not call me that. 'Tis a relic of a life I care not to remember. Noted. Would you like to try your paw at painting? Not particularly. There's a distinct lack of unified vision here, yet somehow it works. Art is a mystery indeed. I had no idea that art could be so liberating. I haven't had this much fun in ages. Fun. Perhaps I once knew what that was like. With all the Leporets we've helped, I'd like to think we've done our part. Still, we can't stop. No, we will not stop. Not until we've helped Counseling Way, and anyone else who's yet to find a dream. The imaging station is now open, allowing once wayward ways to vent their innermost emotions through creative pursuits. There are yet Leporets want for new purpose, however. Continue expanding the workshop to see what dreams may come. Okay, so what does Coining Way now sell? Why the Easter Island head? Why does that look like Ultros? I like that, though. And the birds for Meteon. Okay, music. From Final Fantasy XIV. Makes sense. Alright, and then last but not least we have the Omicron, which are one rank below the other two. Because I unlocked them late. Ugh. My nose is going to be raw before that. Okay, so now we're taking the ear. Greetings, After. This unit commends your fulfillment of objectives relating to the care and feeding of Grebulov customers. Pescatarian menu items, in particular, have met with high approval ratings. Current mission is proceeding as audio records indicate your people would say, swimmingly, ha ha ha. We've learned much for the Corellians and Grebulovs, and the Last Dregs is now the site of joyful cultural exchange. But don't take our word for it, come and see! Ancients? Oh no, these aren't ancients. These are the guys that that worshipped the boss at the end of the dungeon. Oh yeah, they're otters. Forgot. We should keep an eye on that one. They've already polished off 3 bowls of soup today. Well-fed Grebulovs provide important mission data. Soup-related sacrifices must be made. Oh, you like making customers happy. Admit it. This unit merely acknowledges customer satisfaction as more conducive to mission objectives than mutual hostility. Speaking of which, Patron 005 and Patron 006 should be closely monitored. Trying to change the subject on me, will you? Wait, what are Patron 005 and Patron 006? Those two. Duh. Hail, newcome patrons! I, Jammingway, would like to personally welcome you to the Last Dregs. Can you tell me a bit more about your home star? Analyzing metaphysical waveform. Nihilism protocols activated. Beep. 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 It is shared in our truth and shed the self. This is well. The universe too is finite. Only in death may we embrace true infinity. Did you just assassinate my barista? Why would you do that? Situational analysis complete. New customers are of the Nibiruan civilization. This society eliminated concepts deemed unpleasant by organic life forms, such as war and death. In so doing, individuals attained physical immortality and a state of unified comprehension. Their projections were insufficient, however. The Nibiran people only realised that the elimination of strife would similarly destroy their sources of joy when it was too late. At that point, they jointly decided it would be preferable to return to non-existence. Pardon this unit for a moment. Halting shutdown processes, troubleshooter initialized, repair features and self-determination algorithm restored. Why have you returned this being to the finite? The golden mercy of Ra-La was so close at hand. Sweet mother, this is terrifying! Cultural exchange be damned, we can't let them near the other patrons. On the contrary, this unit believes exposure to other civilizations may benefit these customers, and invites them to tour the local simulations of dead worlds. To be certain, the nature of other civilizations is a long-held curiosity of ours. It may be interesting to discuss their inherent futility. That is the spirit. All societies in Ultima Thule are subject to unique manifestations of despair, so this unit recommends comparing each to the tragic perfection of the Nibiran. We are in favour. To arrive at philosophical resonance with such beings will fill much time before blessed obliteration. What the hells? You have already demonstrated to the people of Ultima Thule that despair can be overcome. Projections indicate that once restored, hope is not so easily extinguished. So you think they'll be able to help each other, like you saved M104 just now? I suppose I should be glad they took you up on it. Those Nibiran make my fur stand on end. I don't want them anywhere near Elysion. It'd be nice if we could cure them of their ennui, of course, but I can't see how. The Nibiran are the last dead civilization with sufficient data for replication. Should it prove impossible to turn them into satisfied customers, the probability of further developments on Elysion is slow. Ooh, that's frustrating. Why must they be so much scarier than the other two? I retract my complaints about our soup budget. Well, what if we invite patrons from other civilizations instead? The Ear, for instance. There's no reason we have to build all our own customers, and they seem rather thoughtful. At the very least, it would make good practice in philosophical debate. This unit cannot guarantee that any amount of practice would prepare you to treat with the Nibiran. However, it agrees that inviting local life forms to the last dregs would be good for business. Okay, I'm headed directly to the Ear. Cool. Current objective: convince prospective Ear patrons of the desirability of last dreg sustenance. We'll search for potential customers in this vicinity. Can you ask around the scary stone circle where everyone stares at the sky? Thanks in advance. A venue for replenishment and discourse, you say? We once visited similar establishments. They are memorialized today through the existence of our restaurant, where we traditionalists gather to restore our ether and vent our petty miseries upon one another. Your civilization is young, so perhaps you do not yet understand that one such location is more than enough. Even the most transcendent minds can only withstand so much vacuous discourse. Corporeal beings derive meaning from patronizing this cafe, you say? Felicitations! Personally, I have long since parted from such material concerns in favour of staring contemplatively into the abyss. To begin chasing hopes and dreams now would be to betray my very principles. What is your report? One would think they could at least show a bit of respect to you. Of all people, out of self-preservation if naught else. Probability of further developments on Elysian is now infinitesimal. No, I refuse to give up. Their terrible attitudes are all the more reason to make them see the light. Between the three of us, we will get them to enjoy themselves. Implicit threat acknowledged, initializing joint operation protocols. However, this unit also must acknowledge the non-zero possibility of failure. In such a scenario, the odds of ever securing the patronage of the Ear and Nibiru must be revised to hopeless. Projections indicate that the business may not survive this outcome. You're as bad as they are sometimes. Do you know that? After, you mentioned that Ear once offered you food, did you not? So they don't consider themselves beyond the concept of a repast. There must be a way to build on that to make them understand. You interrupt my staring once again. Curious, is this a physical compulsion? No, we're simply seeking an enlightened opinion. You seem very focused, so surely none would be better suited to answer a few questions. I suppose that would be within the bounds of my principles, and as time is inherently meaningless, you will not cost me that which otherwise have mattered. Pray, wait a moment, and I will see if other rationally minded individuals are interested in this diversion. Huzzah! I leave the debating to you. See if you can stimulate their inquiring minds enough to draw them out to the cafe. Choose the appropriate phrases to generate interest. As the resulting pontification may take several minutes, don't use the duty finder. Attempt to stimulate the ear. Truly, there's naught like a rousing examination to take one's mind off the ceaseless torment of existence. Should we start with 350,173 questions or so, as is customary? $350,000? I was thinking more in the neighborhood of 3. I see that in my cognitive agitation I neglected to account for your base intellects. Carry on with your paltry queries, then. Do you have any interest in gustatory sensations? We long ago abandoned the pursuit of gustatory sensations. Though we yet consume ether to sustain ourselves, we do not experience any particular sensation beyond the satiation of hunger. That is perfectly sufficient, though I am curious. You indicate that many beings gather to consume sustenance at your cafe. Do these beings experience gustatory sensations in unison? Does this not confuse and upset them? Quite the opposite. Taste is key to customer satisfaction, and our customers are very satisfied, I assure you. Curiosity detected. This unit concludes the question piqued their interest. The diminutive being suggests that gustatory sensations are a primary consideration for your establishment. Biologically, however, these are not more than a secondary mechanism to prevent primitive organisms from starving to death. Explain this contradiction. Perhaps to truly comprehend our argument requires tasting for yourselves. Perhaps it is conceivable that having dispensed with our corporeal vessels, a prolonged absence of sensations experienced by way of the nervous system has limited our imaginations to a degree. If only we had possessed the forethought to record our gustatory perceptions for posterity, an unfortunate oversight to be certain. Yet not an insurmountable one. If you were to visit Last Dregs, we could help you reclaim some of the knowledge that was lost. Enticement detected. This unit proposes following this conversational trajectory to its natural terminus. Though I acknowledge that there is some logic to your argument, we are perhaps at an impasse, given our form's lack of physicality. Nevertheless, I am curious to know what manner of taste you would present us with, had we gustatory organs. The best taste in all of Ultima Thule, the taste of your former lives as corporeal beings, perhaps. Indeed, it is rational to assume that as corporeal beings with unique gustatory organs, we too once found certain sensations particularly stimulating. If your cafe is capable of providing knowledge of such long-lost sensations, we would welcome the experience. If anyone can do it, we can. We've served a variety of civilizations already, with great success, I might add. Operational success imminent. Allied units must remain engaging for critical final phase. The preparation of historically accurate sustenance will be no simple task, yet the Hirsute being insists on accomplishing it. Is this compulsion intrinsically or extrinsically motivated? It is our deepest and most heartfelt desire to see hope restored to the universe. My journal does suggest that making you happy will help progress my current quest. It is our deepest and most heartfelt desire. How very primitive of you. Very well, I am convinced your establishment will offer an authentic experience of the shackles of the flesh. Heartfelt, it says. How charmingly irrational. Nary a moment of the tangible impact our hope would have on the surrounding dynamis. There are those too, of course, but most of all, what we want is for our patrons to enjoy themselves. This unit does not disagree with the assessment of organic life forms as primitive, though it is rich in irony given the irrationality on display at present. In any case, mission objective complete. Allied units' performance will be logged as optimal. We see that you indeed had few questions. When may we partake in sensory experiences? Well, first we'll need to prepare a full course for gustatory experimentation. Experimentation, you say? That sounds most agreeable. If this unit may suggest it, After's flesh would make a suitable medium. Oh, I quite agree. No one's tasted more taste than intrepid After. Her palate is refined and her bravery unmatched. She will be the perfect candidate to try any and all dishes we prepare. Then, you need only scan and transmit the sensory perception data to the ear's consciousnesses. What are you going to try and feed me? It is unclear at present what their people may have eaten in their corporeal days. We can begin by finding out what sort of tastes they enjoy, then refine the recipe from there. Regardless, we shall need to fire up the ovens immediately. Last I checked our inventory, the kitchens are well stocked with vegetables, fish, and Sharlayan cookbooks. The probability that the Ear's historical diet was identical to that of the life forms of Aetheris is astronomically low. This unit proposes incorporating ingredients from other worlds as well. Scanning flavoursome category for ingredient data. Calcite deposits near the ship Ragnarok may contain mineral content suitable for use as an additive. Data indicates that organic life forms love additives. Don't hesitate to taste test in the field. Remaining allied units should proceed to the last dregs for recipe analysis. This unit will answer any further customer questions. So I need to get to the Ragnarok. Right? Yeah. Let's just do that. Ugh. Stellar magnesium. You know what? Just because I can. Big soft tacos, so big. EA have thus far asked 81,120 questions. This unit can feel the last remnant of its patience slipping. A timely rescue, chemical composition of ingredients within expected parameters, and let the experimentation begin. Not half bad, if I do say so myself. Dig in! I mean, it actually doesn't look bad. Initializing progressive scan of gustatory inputs. Perfectly ordinary pasta, the seemingly innocuous hamburger, or the vaguely terrifying fish. Eat the fish! Num 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 num. Was that fish staring into your soul just now? Hopefully not. In any case, its pallid flesh must have thoroughly absorbed the added alien flavor. You certainly tasted something. The hamburger. You are struck with a sudden certainty that Jammingway either borrowed or stole this recipe from the last stand. Although the locally sourced flavouring adds an unexpected spiciness to the medium rare meat inside, your tongue is now tingly. Pasta's not unlike that of Aetheris, although the otherworldly flavour adds a tang of complexity. As for the ear, surely any gluten-tolerant life form enjoys a massive bowl of carbohydrates. Gustatory data received transmitting to Patron 007 and Patron 008. So these are the flavours of which you speak. Thank you for helpfully categorising each as sweet, salty, sour, bitter, or savoury. I fear I am quite overcome by the medley. It's impossible to say whether this sensory assault is identical to that what I might have once felt when consuming sustenance, yet it is a useful reference to ruminate upon nonetheless. Then it was well worth the effort in my book. Tell me, did any of the dishes strike you as particularly enjoyable? The first stimulated me in a most pleasing fashion. How was this flavour derived? Ah, that was flavoured with local ingredients harvested by After, garnished with powdered miracle shrimp, a type of crustacean the Grebuloth are farming in Elysian. Pulverized crustaceans! The nature of gustatory sensations is inscrutable indeed. That we found these ones pleasing perhaps indicates that we too once consumed mutilated decapods. I cannot imagine why we would have left that behind. I'm grateful to have even simulated the experience. And there we have it. Do you think this will be enough to bring about more changes to Elysian? Inconclusive, this unit proposes allied units ascend to scan for signs of change. Stigma 4 confirms that alterations have occurred. Let us proceed with the scan. Okay, hello. My computer crashed, and when I rebooted, my microphone wasn't being recognized in OBS for some reason, and I didn't realize for 20 minutes. So welcome to post-recording. Ooh, pretty. I want them. They are a mount. I love them. Give me it. I want it. I want it. These creatures certainly weren't here before, but what are they? They put me in mind of Aetheris's jellyfish. No result found in database. Furthermore, these life forms differ from the simulations in Ultima Thule on a molecular level. You mean a new species has been born? Here? Is it so illogical? Elysian's climate is suitable for the growth of complex vegetation, and a significant portion of its surface is occupied by sea. Many life forms have arisen from similar environments. This unit would venture that under these conditions, the ear's yearning for a corporeal past were sufficient to cause Dynamis to coalesce as organic life. That's incredible. New life? Me. And such very adorable life you are. Yes, you are. Like unto newborn babes, or so I assume. Eons have passed since we e'er have held a child. Yet it is not inconceivable that some part of us remembers. If these creatures arose from our fondness of the past, they may indeed be the nascent forms mentioned in our ancient records. I do see a certain resemblance. Would you like to give these little ones a name, then? We lost the meaning to our names long ago, leaving us only the simple phonemic system we now employ for individuals. The suggestion that we might impart the significance of these children via nomenclature is depressingly ludicrous. Nevertheless, we shall call them Mew-Mizv, a peculiar name to share perhaps, but one we may find the meaning in together. I cannot spell that to save my life, but it sounds lovely. I should like to remain with the Mew-Mizv for a time. They doubtless know much of gustatory sensation and other such facets of corporeality. In serving as their guardians, we may yet reclaim some of what was lost. New life has arisen from the ear's longing. Nurture and protect the Mew-Mizv, for they have much to share. There is yet room for Elysian to grow and change. What other hopes will there be? It'll be a great deal more difficult to focus with those creatures about. They're so wibbly-wobbly.
This unit requests you contain yourself. Energy levels are already low due to patrons' ceaseless querying. However, this unit does admit to curiosity regarding the new life forms, though it is probable that the Mu-Miz shared data with the ear's genetic memory. Possibilities for their development are infinite. This differentiates them from other Dynamis-based life forms. Or maybe they're just one more indication that you lot aren't doomed after all. This place was built for endings, it's true, but we've seen many a beginning. Let's keep that trend going, shall we? Affirmative. Our mission remains one constant among many variables. And now we're ranked up. And they sell more stuff. What do you sell? Mini. Orb. Ball. It's just a ball. I like it though. It is just a ball. I like being followed by a ball. Now we're going to go and check out the Island Sanctuary. Oh wait, no. We're going to head out to Omega to do the special fate in Ultima Thule. It won't let me join as a gatherer because, of course, it would. Ooh, it looks cool. I've never seen this one before. So I have no idea what it does. Rear gun. Guns full. Okay, so you just swap. Well, that went badly. There is no one in my party that can res. Is anyone else going to res me? I guess we'll just res old Charlian and travel back, although that does count as a death for the counter. We'll switch to Red Mage, because then I've got some more healing, and teleport back. Whilst I am recording the audio in post, I do have a cat desperate to get on my lap. That's the attack that hit me before. I'm learning. Carapace rear guns. Oh, it's different looking. Get inside it. Ah. How many? And assault Carapace again. But I'm too busy trying to raise people. I mean, his name's Riku Keyblader. Of course I've got to res him. Bouncing bomb. Oh, that's how it works. Is anyone gonna raise me this time? Ooh, thank you. And that lasted a while, didn't it? I'm just going to teleport. That's another death. That we got back before it's dead. Uploading Memory of Defeat. This unit has never felt so alive. Nice! Well, that's my first time ever killing that. Now let's head back to Phantom. I do not remember what I was saying at this point. I think I was saying that I was feeling pretty shitty. Because I was coming down with a cold or some crap. Let's go have a look at trading this in. Watching yourself yawn is an interesting experience, as it turns out. Okay, so I need to kill it one more time in order to get the mount. There's also these other mounts. I really want the Phaethon horn, but you can only get these from items you get in treasure maps. So I'm just checking the prices of the mounts and their individual trading items. So Alkanost's resplendent feathers were about 250k each, so it's a mount for 750k. The Phaethon's burning horns are about $1.5 million, and Pinky sells for 15 million, and its parts are like 2.5 mil each. I didn't remember where the market board was in Razat Han, if there is one. There we go. There might be somewhere that I can do token exchange in Sharlayan, but I don't know where. And now I have an Alkanost. What does this even look like? Oh, okay. I couldn't remember what I was going to do next. I didn't feel up for doing Hildebrand. It's currently the Make It Rain campaign,
because there's an event quest around that, but I didn't really feel up for doing that either. Island Sanctuary. And this is the point where I realise my raspberries didn't turn up on the audio form, and my mic's not registered. So I unplug it and plug it back in to try and fix it. Oh, come on. There are you fucker. My mic wasn't being recognized for the past 20 minutes since we got back from the crash. Motherfucker. Yeah, I am probably gonna call it. As you can see, I have flight. As you can see, I'm making money. As you can see, I spend money. I think I've already gathered, yeah. And I gathered this earlier today. Yep. So now that I have flight, one of the things that I can do is go up to the top of the mountain. Where there are resources. The resources aren't necessarily special, although there is a special resource that you can only get with flight, which is flowers. Which is, there's some of them here. Yes, there is. These multicolored isle blooms you can only gather in these raised up areas. This isn't unique, there's just a little cluster of them. But if I go all the way to the very peak, we have quartz. We have the leucogranite, iron, and I think that's about it up here. But it's a very tight group of resources. And by the time that you do a full rotation in this very small area, the last thing that you gathered comes back. So you can potentially just keep doing a circuit around here indefinitely. And there is probably people that have set up input bots and stuff that will do this for you. So yeah. That's a thing I have now. There wasn't anything new to craft at level 10. I don't think. And there's still stuff that I haven't gathered yet. Because I think I'm missing iron... Oh, hey. Iron versions of the tools. Because for everything other than the hatchet, I am using bronze tools? Stone tools, or copper, or... It depends. But yeah, the only thing that I've got iron of is the hatchet. So if I get an iron whatever else I've got, then I'll probably get more resources. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you can tell it's coming. I don't have many horns. I think that's because I sold them all. Probably because I sold them all. But yeah, the Island Sanctuary is ticking along. I could do Kai Shear, but after finding out that I've just been muted effectively for 20 minutes, I am not in a place to do Kai Shear custom deliveries. So yeah, I will call it here for today, as disappointing as that is, but hopefully I feel better tomorrow. So we can do Hildebrand and Kai Shear and stuff. Yeah. That sounds good. That sounds good. So anyway, thank you very much. I'll catch you next time. Later.